Welcome back. I can't believe that it is already July. It's already quarter three. So it's time to renew our quarterly forecasts. We're looking at the daughters today. We have the eldest daughter, the middle daughter, and the youngest. You can hear and listen as child, but just know that I am pulling the energy as the daughters. So we just did the eldest daughter, and now we are on to the middle. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, we have our golden sheen obsidian here. We're going to move that out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and get started on the middle daughter. We have a beautiful deck today with the gold stars and the blue. I was saying in the eldest daughter reading that apparently I seem to collect blue tarot decks. I have like 4 more next to me. All seem blue, and all the daughters' decks are blue today. So let's see what we've got going on for the middle daughter. If you've never seen a forecast from me before, I pull the energy. So the energy that we're going into the quarter, the energy that might persist. Then we'll pull the advice, self-explanatory, and then we'll pull the shadow. And that can show up as shadow work, or it can show up as the shadow attached to us, the dark energy looming behind us that we need to look out for, okay? And not the dark energy that's attached to us necessarily. I've just seen that rhetoric quite a bit lately, and that's not what I mean at all. So let's see what we've got for the middle daughter in quarter three. What is the energy for middle daughter? Just the 4. Set that aside. Okay. 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 We're going to start off with a little bit of a banger. And the energy for middle daughter feels a little intense already. The deck that wanted to work with the middle daughter as well it's a little bit more of a fierce deck. It's probably my most intense deck actually, so I'm not surprised that the energy feels intense at the jump. So we have the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Star. However, it feels like there is an issue with our home. It feels like there's an issue with our home life, which is funny because it does feel like our home life has a potential to be wonderful, to be restorative, to be healing, to be peaceful, to be joyful. It feels like our home life is actually okay. But with the 10 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles here, and even this particular star, we have become disconnected. With this star, interesting that I'm saying it that way, even to me. But with this star, she is not touching the water. And that is very strange for the star in the tarot, especially when the deck mirrors the Rider-Waite-Smith deck for the most part. Very strange to not see. Let me just cover her up a little bit. Very strange to not see her touching the water. Typically, she has at least 1 foot in or a hand in. The water is free flowing. But in this star, she is on an outcropping of rock by herself. And she's not touching the water at all. I wonder if we have somehow become disconnected. This 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands, I wonder if we've built, it's almost like we've built a wall between us and our home life, which again doesn't feel bad. It feels like there's great potential there. If you're married or you have kids, it feels like you have a great partner, a great marriage. You love your kids, ideal, right? But it feels like you have really become disconnected in a way. And I wonder if you've just taken on too much. I wonder if there was, with the Five of Pentacles, I wonder if there was a hit to your finances, career, a hit to, it doesn't really feel like health, to be honest with you. It feels like something happened. And instead of plugging in, which is more of the star energy, instead of plugging in, we removed ourselves. 10 of Wands, we took on way too much because of this hit. So I'm really interested to see what the advice is here. You'd think it would just be put your foot in the water, become connected again to the universal energy, because the star, very interesting coming out with the Five of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands, because the star is really about, in a lot of ways, an endless energy, an endless energetic flow with the universe. So it's very interesting that this star is unplugged, and we have the Five of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. I wonder if the advice is going to be, let's put our foot in the water, or if it's going to be something else. It almost feels like it's going to be something else. So let's see what we've got going on. Because I think, too, there's a real blockage to the energy. And that happens to me occasionally. And a lot of the times it's because there's been this really, again, strong energetic wall built around what I'm trying to read. It feels so frustrated. I was gonna say frustrating, but when I'm hitting up against this wall, it feels so frustrated. It feels almost so frustrated that it can't see or feel anything else. That makes sense. Let's see what the advice is. I have a headache all of a sudden as well. Feels so bogged down. I'm getting this image of like a headache. It's like this. We're bent over a desk. We're looking at something, right? It's just like, oh my gosh, here's yet another thing. It feels like that image, you know. Let's see what the advice is. It's for the middle daughter. That's already annoying. Oh my god. That is so annoying. I'm annoyed for you. 10 of Pentacles. It's it's focusing on the joy of your home, the 10 of Pentacles, but it's also very much focusing on, the 10 of Pentacles is wonderfully abundant as a card in general, similar to how the 10 of Cups from the energy is wonderfully abundant in joy, happiness. The 10 of Pentacles here, though, I would say you need to lean on your community. I wonder if that's the unplugged, the 10 of Wands, the wall. I wonder that image, because the image that I'm having, right, this with the headache and looking, sitting at a desk, looking over the desk, it feels very isolated. It feels like alone in a home office with the door shut in the middle of the night. And I believe I said in the energy, I don't know that you had to do this. I know that it felt like that, but I don't know that you had to. So the advice here is to open up. And I think that's going to feel really hard. I can feel it. I can feel like a seizing. And I think that's the reason for the wall. It's easier to build that wall, of frustration, to take everything on yourself than to ask for help, to rely on your community, And if that means like your family, extended family, friends, your literal community, neighbors, whatever community means to you, it's very much like you will have what you need if you are able to open up and ask for help. I think that's going to be really hard for you, which is why I'm frustrated with the advice for you. Let's see if we can pull some advice on how we do that. Because I think the problem that I'm feeling for you, middle daughter, is that this wall of frustration that you've built up is very high. And I think you almost like being behind it now. And so reaching out, scaling this wall, exploding the wall feels next to impossible. It feels like I'm getting like an image of Everest. Like it feels like Everest. It feels so impossible, which is why I think it feels easier to stay behind the wall of frustration, to continue to take everything on, to handle it all yourself. That feels easier in this moment than opening up, being vulnerable, asking for help. So let's see if the tarot can give us some advice on how to do that, how to open up, how to ask for help. And maybe that's the shadow. Let's go ahead and pull the shadow, because maybe that's the shadow work that you need to do in quarter 3. So let's go ahead and pull the shadow. Okay. Devil showing up for you as well. And the 6 of Cups showed up for the eldest daughter too. But you also have the 10 of Swords. So you have you have quadruple 10 energy. 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords. Wild. Wild. That's why I think it really does feel easier for you at this time. The Devil being here, it feels easier to stay behind the wall. It feels easier to, honestly, I'm so sorry, the 10 of Swords, to be a martyr. It's much easier to have that identity. I'm doing all of this. I'm doing so much. I'm taking on so much. Look at this pain and hurt that I'm in. The Devil being here, I'm so sorry. That martyrdom, all of this 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords energy, taking on so much, it gives you an excuse to act a certain way. And I'm honestly hearing drinking. And the Devil can be addiction, it could be vice, it could be ego, it could be a lot of things. And rarely do I read the Devil as addiction or even vice. Really, really, the Devil to me is a card that's very much up to interpretation. What else are we doing here? Based on what is going on, based on the energy. The Devil feels very influenced by the rest of the energy. So I'm just hearing drinking. So it's like this frustration, right? It's like if we go back to the image of being frustrated alone, bent over a desk, pouring, a couple fingers of scotch and saying, "Oh, I deserve this." The "I deserve this" attitude is undeserved, because the advice is really, we need to open up. In a lot of ways, we're doing this to ourselves now. We have the community. It feels like we have the family, or at a minimum, we have the support available, even if we can't recognize it or see it right now behind that wall of frustration, but it is there. And with the 6 of Cups, again, it's like we need to ask for help. The way that I'm seeing this 6 of Cups is we need to share our cups. I almost can't say the word cups anymore. When a word starts to sound weird to you. we need to share. We need to be willing. I'm going to say it again. We need to hand over our cup of vulnerability. We need to allow our inner child and the cup that they're holding. We need to allow them to emerge and let our community, our spouse, I'm really feeling like you have like a spouse or a partner, someone who's with you. And it feels like we need to show them this cup. We need to show them our inner child and how they're feeling. And it feels like they are going to be there to support us. But we need to let them see it. We need to let them hold that cup in a lot of ways. I don't think it's hold it for us. I don't think they're taking it. I think it's a sharing. It's here's what I have. And I think that's going to be okay. And I think you're going to be supported in that. And opening up allows you to move past and move out of this wall of frustration, because I fear for you with the 10 of Swords and the Devil. I fear if we don't take some action right now, I fear if we don't, I'm really sorry to say this, but I feel like if we don't break down this identity of martyrdom, however that's showing up for you, I fear if we don't break down the excuse for, I don't even want to say bad behavior, but just behavior that brings us out of alignment. The excuse being, I deserve this, right? Because I'm sure it feels that way. But you don't have to carry this all alone. It's not all on you. It just seems that way. And in a lot of ways, it feels like you're orchestrating it to be that way. So, in that case, is it really, I deserve this? Or is it, I orchestrated this scenario to enable myself to do this, right? It's giving you a pass. It's giving you an easy out to do whatever it is. And again, I'm feeling like drinking might be out of alignment, but it could be a lot of things, right? So let's see if the tarot has any last advice, because this has been a pretty intense forecast for middle daughters. So let's see if we have any lasting advice, any final words that the universe wants to leave middle daughter with. No, that's it. And as I was trying to pull just then, it's feeling like it's a very loving energy, actually. It's almost like it's giving therapist energy, to be honest. It's giving, I see you. I am comfortable. No, I love you enough. I care for you enough. I care about your well being enough to say this to you, because I want you to move on. I want you to move forward. I want you to be able to open up again. I want you to have that community. I want you to have that like beautiful family I'm hearing. So the energy, it's feeling like a therapist that feels obligated to say some hard truths to you at this moment, because they want you to move forward and want you to be well and want you to be successful. So Very intense energy for quarter three, middle daughter. I wanted to say I almost hope it doesn't resonate, but if it does, there's always opportunity for change. The year is not over, even if it was. Who cares? We'll move on to the next quarter, right? We'll move on to the next season of life. But for this season coming up for you, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna not feel the best, I think. But if you can do that, if you can allow community in, allow family in, allow someone to see you, allow someone to see that middle child, then I'm very excited to see where we land in quarter four. So I hope to see you back then. Like and subscribe. I am Mars and Aquarius, and I will see you then.